All right, sounds good. What has been your favorite memory at Statesville so far?
I would probably have to say this one year, it was like my second year. I don't know what possessed us to do it, but me and another actor named Big Dave, we decided we were going to ambush John as he came through the clown room. And so Dave's not even a clown. And
yeah, I've seen him shirtless, I think, a few times in one of the bathrooms.
Yeah. And so he was in my spot. I'm hiding in the little duck thing, waiting, like when you go past by Chops, you got to duck down to go into the box.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm waiting there, and Sad Clown's waiting for him, and so all of a sudden, when John gets there, there's Big Dave just starts singing, "Love Me, love me." And then Sad Clown grabs John. I pop out of this little box, and I start twerking on John.
Oh, my God.
And John's just sitting there with this look on his face, and I'm like, I'm trying not to die laughing. And all of a sudden Dave runs back to his spot, I get back in my spot, and John continues with his walkthrough. And it's just, every time he looked at me that night, he just stopped and he shook his head.
Where did you get the name Chops the Clown? Was that like a new thing, or did someone make that up, or?
Kyle, actually, John's brother, I show up early to the haunt out of habit. I don't know why. And the night before opening night, I messed up trimming my beard. And so I was like, screw it. And I just shaved the mustache, and I shaved this, and I had chops. Kyle wanted to ask me to do something, and I think he forgot my name. So he just went, "You with the chops." And I'm like,
Not bad.
And I just kind of took the ball and ran with it.
So when did you start, when did you notice, you like acting, you want to be, in a haunted? How long ago?
Well, I've always acted. I used to act when I was a small child. I played Baby Jesus, mainly because I was the only one who could fit in the costume. I was the Rosebud in Alice in Wonderland. I was also Oyster number 2, and I was the 2 of Spades. I got into haunt acting purely accidental. I was walking around Six Flags during Fright Fest during the daytime. And this is back in my kind of goth phase. I had long hair and I wore all black. And this lady came up to me and said, "You want a job?" I'm like, "Huh?" She's like, "Come with me." And she takes my hand and leads me back in this area. Then next thing I know, they're putting corpse paint on my face, and they put me in a monk's robe and shove me in a room and tell me to act possessed.
That's a pretty cool way to start, acting for haunted houses. But that brings me into my next question: what was your first haunted house? What?
Went to or worked in?
Worked in.
Worked in was one of the houses shot whatever it was called at Six Flags back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I forgot what it was called, but it was by Alice Cooper. And they ended up sticking me in the electric chair. So I just basically sat there and for 8 hours a day.
So how did you find yourself at Statesville? How did you start getting to
I actually, I think it was the year before I started at Statesville, I did my brother-in-law's home haunted house that he does in Bolingbrook. And I dressed up as a clown because I have a history of doing that anyways. It's a long story. And so I did it. And then the following year, the girl I was dating, she was like, "Hey, I saw these pictures and all this stuff. You'll hear this haunted house is having open auditions." This was in 2013. So I showed up nervous as you couldn't believe. I was one of the last groups that auditioned on the first day of audition. So it was 8:30, 9 o'clock at night, and you could just tell John was just tired. And I actually made John bend over and laugh because I stepped on a chihuahua in my scene. Not proud of it, but I killed a chihuahua in my scene.
An actual chihuahua?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like...
I have a chihuahua. I could never hurt my dog. He's a rescue. I love that little dork. I'm surprised you haven't asked about the shirtless portion of my gig.
Alright, since you brought it up, why...
I shot myself in the foot with that question. Again, Kyle, it was his idea. One day, Kyle, all of a sudden I'm getting dressed, because I already didn't have my makeup on, but I had my costume on. I did those things backwards. And all of a sudden one of the actors goes, "Hey, Kyle wants to talk to you." And I'm like, "Oh no, what'd I do now? I thought I was in trouble." And all of a sudden he looks at me and goes, "Chops, you're going shirtless tonight." Okay. Go up there and tell makeup. Next thing you know, I'm standing shirtless, arms out like this, and I got two people with airbrushes basing my belly, my arms, my back. And then I got the head makeup artist Whitney with a brush on my belly, on my moobs. And people just staring at me in the haunted house. Like, customers are coming through, like... It's like half the night, I'm like, I don't know if you've ever watched Mad TV, but I'm like that character Stuart. I'm like, no! It's like people are trying to stick their finger in my belly button.
What? Oh, that's interesting.
It never got weird until Legendary, where some guy actually grabbed my nipples. And was like...
Okay, this is the most interesting interview we've had so far. Let's see, next. Do you, find yourself doing this in the future, or how long do you want to, stick with this?
We'll see. I'm in my mid-30s. I'll do it as long as my body lets me. As long as I'm physically able to.
So, do you get to go through any haunted houses after, working, or...
It's kind of hard for us to kind of go to haunted houses because our hours are generally on the weekends. But we try to, if you see some that are open, we'll go to them. It's hard for me to because I live 45 minutes away from everybody. So it's kind of I check out some of the local haunts in Indiana.
Nice. What do you want to see Statesville add next year or this year?
It's a tough question because I would like to see them add to City of the Dead.
That's what everyone's saying. All my friends are like, "Hey, do you know if they're gonna add anything?" I'm like, "No." I
really, really like City of the Dead. When we did our walkthrough, there was a couple of pieces that got me. One, those claustrophobia walls. I hate those because I'm a big dude. And when in City of the Dead, right as I popped out of one, something popped right out at my face, man, sent me right back into the thing. I had a snake right in front of my mouth. The giant head. City of the Dead. I wish that was a little longer. I'd love going through there.
Yeah, it's you go through this big 35-minute haunted house and then you go through a 10-minute one.
It's kind of like the cool down. It's kind of like Statesville's your main course. City of the Dead's your dessert.
You've been through Statesville, right? I think you said that.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite scene or room?
Aside from the clown room, I really, really like the blood room.
Well, who wouldn't like the blood room?
I just like the sets in there. I like what was it? The cages in the Maniac Ward. I like the entire Maniac Ward. I like when you get to the waiting station with Big Mama, and then you go through. You got Doc. The flying characters that really amaze me. I couldn't do it.
My favorites are probably the sisters, the clown room, and then I don't know why I love the opening, how the floor shakes and all that. That's pretty cool.
Sisters room scares me.
Yeah.
I'm legit. No, I went in there once. They had me clean the mirrors before we opened, and me and the other actor that was doing it with me were cleaning the mirrors. And if we bump the doll, we say we're sorry.
Wait,
did it mean
to bump a real person?
No, we bumped the dolls, the mannequins, but like it's so creepy in there, even with the lights on. It's unnerving.
So, do you plan on staying at Statesville or moving to Hell's Gate?
I plan on staying at Statesville.
Has there ever been like a chance where you could go over to Hell's Gate?
There is. I mean, if I want to, like, I could, ask like during the Statesville auditions.
Oh, so you have to re-audition every year?
Yeah, makes it fair, I like it that way. That way I can kind of see like who my teammates are possibly going to be this season, because that also adds to the show. Is the energy of the actors.
So you also have a show, or not you, but they also have a show called Days of the Living Dead. How do you feel on being on camera whenever?
I love it. I'm a ham. I'm such a ham. I don't care. I'm a dork. Like, I'm a goon. That's like it's. I think Mike Meyer has a thing with interviewing. I think he likes, because he never knows what I'm gonna do. Like, I think my first year on the last episode of Days of the Living Dead, when they were interviewing me, I think I was slowly taking my pants off as I was talking to him. Don't ask me why.
What other have you pulled any other like pranks on any of the people there?
No, but I'm the victim of them.
What has happened so far to you?
One of the other clowns, our room leader Shippy, he likes to mess with me because he's limber and he can get up in places, and there's a spot behind my door in the room where I can't see nothing, so he'll get up there with his hand and he'll open the door behind me, and I'll turn around and the door's opening, or he'll like just pop out of nowhere and scare the bejesus out of me every year, and I never see him coming, but I know it's coming. So it's like I'm always on high alert.
Have you ever gone on the bungee thing in there?
No, I haven't done bungee.
It looks kind of fun, actually.
It looks real physically demanding. They tell me that the harnesses can support over 300 pounds. I don't want to test that theory.
Well, has anyone accidentally ever someone on the bungee and just ran into a customer?
Probably. I wouldn't, unless I have asked Shippy or whoever does bungee I'm pretty sure it probably has happened, but I don't think it happens often, because Shippy's actually really, really good on the bungee cords. Like, he's got really good self-control. He can bop Sexy Clown on the head and get back up in his spot.
So how long have you worked at Statesville?
This season will be my 4th year. 4 years.
And what's the worst thing that's happened so far?
Getting punched in the yeah, getting hit below the belt by a little kid.
Oh, that's happened to you before?
Yes.
Sounds fun.
I've been swung at. I've had people want to fight me, and it's like, you paid money for this.
You paid money to go in here.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not gonna touch you. My hands are behind my back half the time.
I think that's all the questions I actually have. I try to go on as long as I can.
You did good.
Alright, so now that the camera's off, I got the camera off now. You've actually got me a few times pretty good.
Yes.
I think you actually said that.
Break.
Didn't you say that on one of my videos? I forgot.
Yeah, I got you once in the actors area. I was coming in from my break and you were standing there. I walked right past you and I just whispered your name as I walked.